Part of what our whole concept is, when we were visiting in China, we went to a Chinese opera, and the vivid colors and the vivid presentation of the opera was just so spectacular. And basically, when you're doing a restaurant, you're putting on a show every night, but with all the beautiful bright colors and the sensual flavors and the aromas and the music and the whole atmosphere, it's almost like an opera that you're participating in. We were trying to take the traditional Chinese restaurant and modernize it. We take traditional Chinese foods and flavors and make them more exciting.
We like to think of our dishes as 60% of our dishes are classically correct. The other 40% are sort of a blend of what we call contemporary Chinese. Chinese cuisine done with a little bit more flair. We offer something for everyone. They want something more. They're not just looking to dine. They're looking for a little, a bit of theater, a bit of opera, if you will.
So Tracy, you say that this place, cut and dry, is the place to go. Why?
I just think it's one of those places in Chicago that you simply cannot miss. One, for when you walk in the door, how absolutely stunning it is, the onyx bar, like the beautiful tapestries, the just unique music playing the whole time, and the flavors that the chef puts out in his food. A little off the beaten path, so I think you get an interesting, diverse group of people that like to kind of travel outside the norm and go in, so it's fun.
How did you find it?
I loved it. The room was really cool. It was a little bright. It's kind of big. You kind of feel like you're in a gymnasium, and it's that kind of like a large, space. And it was a little loud at first and a little bright, but funnily enough, when we were all I went with a bunch of people, we were all sitting there going, man, it's a little bit kind of bright in here. And right as soon as we said it, the lights kind of turned down. And then we got in like
the eyes and ears everywhere.
Yeah, either Big Brother was watching us,
like
or we came like
lighting
exactly right before because it started kind of becoming more of like a hit. I think that they'd finished the first seating of the night, and there was a lot more kind of hip people. Lots of body piercing, which actually working there as well, too.
Well, it seems like Jerry Kleiner's, all of his restaurants, I mean, Marche, Red Light, Chioco, now Opera. I mean, it's just like this riot of colors, and you had described it very interestingly.
To me, it's like a dressing room for Cirque du Soleil. And I feel that,
actually.
I feel that way over at Marche, too, but very much so.
Now, is this a place to go if you like it kind of quiet?
No, not at all. This is a place to, be seen and see people and, kind of get crazy. You can dance on the table if you really feel like it.
Well, there you go.
So,
Jonathan, anytime soon?
I'm thinking tonight, you want to join me? Because I want to dance on the table.
You got your makeup done earlier, so you're all set to go.
Exactly.
You can be part of the hip and happening crowd.
That's me. The volume gets loud. It's pretty deafening there.
The spot actually was a converted, they had converted it from a Paramount Studios building where they stored old film. And so the little cubicles, did you notice that?
I saw those on kind of on the right when you walk in. Yeah.
That was a vault where they stored film.
I have sat in the vaults, and it's really romantic. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cute too, because your waiter or waitress can kind of like peek around and be like, "Hey, how you guys doing?" I mean.
Did you enjoy the open kitchen?
Something I think is interesting, as I was being seated, I walked past, and there's a little sign in the kitchen that the wait staff obviously would look at, and it said, "Taste everything."
Does it mean they're tasting your plate as it comes out?
Maybe, I don't know. But I just thought that was so important, because I think it goes with their quality of service. Everyone needs to know what everything tastes like.
Yeah.
Green beans at 2 as well. Table 12.
Do you enjoy Chef Paul Wildermuth's cuisine? What do you like to eat when you go there?
I got the what they just called beef and broccoli. The menu has what you'd normally find on a classic Chinese takeout menu. But when you get it, it's not beef and broccoli, it's filet mignon, and the sauce was amazing. It was almost kind of chocolate, almost kind of like a mole. It was incredible.
He wants to keep the concepts of Chinese cuisine, traditional, but the presentation has been updated. So as you said, you had the broccoli and beef, and it turned out to be a filet mignon with, braised broccoli. Yeah. Now, what did you eat in that regard?
We had some pork and lobster shumai, which was sort of a traditional serving. And I asked the waiter, would we be able to taste the lobster? Because I know we're going to taste the pork. I want to taste the lobster too. And they're expensive, so I want to taste it. And he screamed back that, yes, we'd be able to taste the lobster.
He screamed?
Well, that's the only way we were going to hear him. I'm not kidding when I say that the volume in there.
Why does he scream at you?
That was the only way to be heard. And he said that he screamed that we would be able to taste it, and we did.
Yes,
the texture
you
was good.
could
That's right. Well, you know, if you were to scream right now, it would be overwhelming. But in the context of the restaurant, we could barely hear him.
Did he dance on the table?
He didn't have to dance on the
there you
table.
go.
But he really took the time to explain a few things, including the specials, one of which we had. We had kung pao beef, which is a very traditional dish, nicely served. It was clear that they had fried the beef and coated it with corn flour, cornstarch, and it's a real nice way of doing it. We had a flounder or halibut done two ways. Excellent, delicious food, nicely served.
I think you had the Peking duck service.
Yes, we did.
A friend of mine had that.
So
That looked
amazing.
really, really
It
good.
did look good.
Beautiful.
What does that involve? The service.
Well, it's just service. I mean, no,
They scream,
it
first
comes.
of all, so
First of all, they scream it
They
at
have
you,
to.
and then it comes out 3 different ways. I mean, you have like your duck served. One was like a mushu, where it was just slightly crispy, which was my favorite. It's so good. The next was just pieces of duck with like a soy sauce on it, and then there was one that actually was with noodles and.
Well, Tracy, this was your spot. Give us a quick summary.
Great place for a date. Beautiful, beautiful setting, and really interesting food. I think it's something that no one should miss in Chicago.
Jonathan?
I think it's an interesting place, which is too loud, with excellent food, and I'd certainly go back.
If you're like me and you've spent way too much time in front of the TV eating Chinese food and done nothing else, this is a good change of pace. You can finally go get some of your favorites done really well, and it's not just out of a little white box. So it was a really interesting night.
Well, you could experience the colorful drama at Opera at 1301 South Wabash, 312-461-0161. They're open for dinner every night of the week. Reservations are accepted for parties of 6 or more, and the average tab per person without drinks is $37.